Joining us live on Info Live TV is Yoni Ben Menahem, the General Director and Chief Editor of Kol Isra&euml, Israel's main radio station. And we're here to talk about security, Yoni.
Yes.
We're here to talk about security on the eve of Yom HaZikaron, the day when Israeli families mourn their fallen soldiers. Now, we hear a lot about Islamic Jihad. In the last few months, all of the attacks against Israel have been by Islamic Jihad. Hamas have seemed to be quite quiet. Is that true, or is there something underhand we don't know about going on?
No, definitely. Publicly, officially, they said that they are committed to the status of, or the state of calming that was announced between Israel and the Palestinian factions. But on the ground, actually, they were encouraging terrorism against Israel through a proxy in Gaza Strip, which is called the Organization of the Popular Committees, headed by Jamal Abu Samadana, that was launching rockets, Qassam missiles towards Israeli targets. And just a few days ago, they also tried, the Hamas tried, through this proxy, to bomb a booby-trapped car in Karni Passage in Gaza.
Now, are you saying these Popular Resistance Committees are made up of Hamas members?
I don't know if they are the members of these organizations are actually Hamas activists, but definitely they are supported by the Hamas, encouraged by the Hamas, and financed by the Hamas. There's no doubt about it. They might be independent, but the Hamas is taking advantage of them and recruiting them to carry out the attacks so that it will not have the signature of Hamas, but actually they are behind these attacks.
Now, several months ago, Dan Chalutz, the IDF Chief of Staff, made quite a radical statement. He said that Israel did not have an answer to the Qassam rockets. Is that still the answer? Is that still the case?
The statistics of the IDF, of the Israeli Defense Forces, show a decrease in the launching of the Qassam missiles towards Israeli targets as the result of the IDF activity, which is bombing and targeted killings and artillery towards the Qassam. But definitely, this is not the answer to push to get rid of the Qassam attacks. The only solution, military solution, is to create a security zone in the north of Gaza of a few kilometers that will be pushing the range of the Hamas out of Israeli targets. And this is the only way to do it, is to create a security zone.
We heard also about Katyusha rockets. Really, what do we expect in the next few months, next few years, to be the Palestinian ability to attack Israel at really sensitive targets?
Eventually, and the IDF knows it, and there are contingency plans already, there will be no choice for Israel but to reoccupy Gaza Strip to prevent the smuggling from Egypt through the tunnels into the Gaza Strip.
You're talking of an operation the size and depth of defensive shield, something like that?
Definitely. There are different contingency plans. The IDF generals are already admitting to it. It's a matter of time, and eventually Israel will have to do it for self-defense.
Okay, now a question about the international community. A lot's been said that Hamas coming out into the open and forming a government would have to force them to become more moderate. Should we be optimistic about international pressure on Hamas and on the Palestinians?
We have to be optimistic, but not because of what is happening on the Palestinian side. We have to be optimistic about what we intend to do. This is the most important thing. What is happening on the other side is very disturbing, but we have to be strong and united.
We have these new, quite remarkable pictures of the Eros-B satellite coming through. What does that mean for Israel security-wise?
The Iranians are spreading the nuclear facilities all over Iran. We're talking about 30 sites where they are dealing with these nuclear where there are nuclear facilities. As far as the spying satellite is concerned, and we can have our own pictures, and we can count on ourselves, and this is a very, very important sign for Independence Day.
Does counting on ourselves and does independence mean the independence to strike Iran?
Let's say that it's not our problem only. And we need more than Israel to deal with Iran. We need the world to deal with Iran. We need the international community to deal with Iran. So it's not only our problem, it has to be more than that.
One final question for you, Yoni. Israel has peace agreements with Egypt and with Jordan, and this week Egyptian and Jordanian leaders met to discuss how they were going to deal with the security threats to themselves after the bombings in the Sinai. How is Israel's relationship with Jordan and with Egypt today? Is there a coalition together, a willing coalition to fight this problem together?
The Jordanians are, for the first time, accusing Hamas for trying to hit the Jordanian targets inside the Jordan. They presented weapons that were captured and terrorists that were captured, Hamas members. So we see that the Hamas and the radical Islam is not only a danger for Israel, but it's also a danger for the moderate regimes, Arab regimes in this area, especially those regimes who have a peace agreement with Israel.
Yoni Ben Menahem, General Director and Chief Editor of Kol Isra&euml, Israel's radio station. Thank you very much for joining us here on Info Live TV for this Erev Yom HaZikaron Israel Security Update. Thank you very much.
Thank you.